Hey, Rebecca, how are you doing? I hope everything is going okay. Are you still at work? I wanted to talk to you for a second if you aren't too busy. Do you have time now, or should I text you a bit later?
I'm just finishing up and leaving now. I'm so glad it's finally Friday. It's been such a long week, don't you think? I was thinking of heading over to the bakery on my way home to get some amazing sweets.
I know how you feel. This week was exhausting. Thank God it's Friday, right? It's the best time to enjoy ourselves before the weekend flies by.
Exactly what I was thinking. Anyway, what's up? Everything all right?
There's something I needed to talk to you about.
Oh, what's wrong? Did something happen? Oh, I know what it is. Say no more. You and your boyfriend finally broke up, didn't you? I knew it would happen eventually.
Huh? Broke up? What gave you that idea?
Well, 'cause the other day when we were eating together, you were talking about him, right? I thought you were just making it up to brag or something, to be honest. I wasn't really listening.
What? Why would I make something like that up? Don't be silly, come on. Besides, that's such a silly thing to lie about. You know I wouldn't do that. Why would I go make something up about a person I was dating?
Was dating. So I was right all along. You did break up. Not gonna lie, I thought it was strange that you would be dating someone while I'm still single.
Hey, come on now. That's a little uncalled for. Sure, you had always gotten way more dates than I did when we were in high school and when we were in college. But I said was dating rather than am dating. Not because we broke up, but...
But what? Don't keep me waiting.
He actually proposed to me. So of course he isn't my boyfriend anymore. He's my fiance.
Wait, he what? Are you serious? You're really engaged?
Yup, I know, right? I almost can't believe it either. So since I'll be getting ready to make arrangements for the wedding ceremony and everything, I wanted to make sure I had your address and everything correct, since I'll be sending you and everyone invitations soon.
Who is your fiance? Do I know them?
I was telling you about him when we were eating together the other day. Were you really not listening when we talked?
You need to tell me more details. Where is he from? What's he look like? Is he really short? What's he do for a living?
Oh, yeah, speaking of his work, he's in the same industry as you. I can't actually remember the name of his company at the moment. I think it starts with an S or something. And his name is Sean. He's such a sweetheart.
Sean? Sean Moore?
Oh, how do you know his last name? Have you met him before through work?
I don't really know him that well, but we have been working on a joint project between our two companies. We had been working together in the same group. And before that, we had another joint project a while back. I remember having met him a few times in meetings we had.
Oh, wow, so you have met him then. What a coincidence. Really is a small world, huh?
Wow, I can't believe you and him are engaged. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really surprised. If it really is the same Sean that I had worked with, I would have thought you are a bit out of his league, to be honest.
Gee, thanks, Rebecca. I didn't know he was so out of my league. I guess I got lucky.
Well, he was really popular with everyone we worked with. Of course, well, of the girls in the joint projects in particular. He could have picked from anyone we had been working with. Or anyone else for that matter. Including me. Like you said, I've always been popular myself. Maybe his type is really average-looking people or something.
What are you trying to say? That I'm average? Give me a break.
You know, it's sort of like sometimes you don't always want to go for a meal at a 5-star restaurant, right? Sometimes you just want to go for a snack from the gas station at midnight. You know what I mean. I'm saying you're more of a snack from the gas station.
If you're trying to make a joke, you're not being very funny.
Oh, come on. Lighten up a bit. Anyway, If you're getting married, of course I have to go. I'm sure I'll see a lot of people from work, too. And from some of the other people I'd met at Sean's company.
Thank you. Like I said, I need to start sending invitations soon. I want to make sure I get as much done as I can as soon as possible. Is your address still the same? I sent you a card for Christmas, so if it's not changed, I'll send it to that one again.
I can just get one in person. It should be much easier, right? Especially since I've been working with your fiance now. I can get it from one of you on one of those days. Besides, going through all the hassle to mail something and pay for postage is such a waste.
Do you think that would be more convenient? I guess it would be better to give them out in person. It is much more polite, but I've been really busy with work lately. I don't really have much time. Especially now that we have a lot of planning and preparations to do. I'm not sure if I'll get a chance away from work to bring one to you. It might be easier to mail them.
Don't worry about that. I could just get it from Sean, right?
I never thought about that. That's a good idea. I'll ask him when I get a chance.
Hey Alice, about our moving plans tomorrow. I know this is super short notice, but do you think there's any way that we can give the movers a call and adjust our arrangements?
Adjust? What do you mean? Did something happen at work or something? I really don't think we'll be able to change the scheduling. It's the day before. At best, we would be able to cancel it, but I don't think that's a good idea. What's going on?
I guess you're right, but I'm in a bit of a situation, I guess. I'll be honest, I haven't been able to get any packing done at all.
At all? Is it really that bad? How much have you been able to get done? Show me what we're working with here.
This is most of my stuff, I know. It's really bad.
Wait, are you serious? It looks like you haven't even put a single thing in any boxes.
Yeah, I've been really busy, and a few things had come up. I just kept putting it off and lost track of time. I totally forgot it was tomorrow until just a little bit ago.
Sean, this is really bad. It's not a joke. They'll be coming to my place in the morning to start moving things over to our new house. They'll probably finish up by the afternoon and then swap to your apartment to start bringing things over. Do you think you'll have enough time to get everything packed?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I will be able to get it all done or not. I need a bit more time. That's why I was kind of hoping that maybe we would be able to push the time back. Even if it was just a day. I guess that's wishful thinking, though. It's probably impossible to rearrange anything the day before. Do you think maybe you could try to delay them a bit so that it takes longer? Then maybe I would have a little more time to get everything together by the time they move on to my apartment.
But I'm already finished with everything. I don't even have that many things, to be honest. I don't think it will take much longer than a few hours to get it all moved over. It might even be quicker than that.
Dang it, that doesn't leave me much time at all tomorrow.
Did you have to work overtime a lot recently or something? Why did you have to put it off all week?
Well, not exactly. Since we'll be getting married pretty soon, well, I haven't had much of a chance to see a lot of my friends this year. And since the wedding is coming closer and closer, a lot of them have been wanting to enjoy hanging out together all as bachelors as much as possible, before it's too late.
Oh, well, I don't think there's any problem with that, but is this why you also had me rearrange some of our wedding preparations the other day? I thought it was because of work.
Right. It wasn't because of work. I'm really sorry. I feel bad telling my friends no, since we really haven't seen each other much this year.
So it wasn't because of work then?
I know it sounds dumb and maybe a little bit excessive. They can definitely be over the top sometimes. But they'll all get tired of the excursions and their excitement should settle down soon.
Look, I really don't mind that you're spending time with your friends. I think it's a good thing. I'm sure they've missed going out and doing things with you. I just don't want you to lose track of your priorities. Even if we are getting married soon, it really isn't going to change that much.
I know, I shouldn't lose focus of what's important right now, but at this point I can't change having put off packing all my things. Besides, spending time with friends and loved ones is a priority too, right?
Yes, I know. I also definitely know your things haven't been packing themselves in the last 10 minutes. We could talk about this more another time. It isn't as important right now anyway. There's only so much I can do to prepare for the wedding on my own at the moment anyway. Moving tomorrow is more pertinent right now, so I'll just have to head over there and help you out. I'll be leaving for your apartment in just a little bit. It shouldn't take me too long to get there. If we hurry, we should be able to get everything done before midnight, if your apartment isn't too messy.
You really don't mind coming over to help. Thank you so much.
I just booked for a driver a bit ago. They should be arriving soon. In the meantime, please start packing as much as you can. It would help speed things up. I think it will give both of us some peace of mind if we can get everything moved tomorrow without any surprises. Once I get to your place, we could talk more about the wedding ceremony while we are getting everything packed.
Oh, speaking of the wedding, I just remembered something that I wanted to ask you about. What do you think about having Rebecca as the maid of honor? I think she'd do a great job giving a speech at the reception.
Rebecca? Why do you think she would be a good fit?
Aren't you really close friends? She has been talking about you a lot lately.
I mean, I suppose we're fairly close? I'm not so sure, though. She hadn't really come to mind when I thought of the maid of honor.
I've been trying to get to know her a bit more since she's a good friend of yours and she's been invited.
To be honest, I was thinking that maybe we would just skip the speeches by the maid of honor and the best man.
Oh, how come? That's very unusual for a wedding, don't you think?
I thought maybe that having everyone give a speech on top of everything else we were planning might start to take up too much time from the whole reception. Don't you agree? I also kind of feel bad having everyone sit through all of them when it's really just something for the two of us. I was thinking maybe everyone would have a better time if there wasn't so much going on. Maybe just enjoying each other's company, the food and drinks. We had talked about it a little bit earlier, too. I thought we were on the same page. Do you really think we should adjust things to make time for speeches? And have Rebecca doing them?
I think it would be fun, to be honest. I'm sure all of the guests wouldn't mind listening to a few speeches. They don't necessarily have to be that long anyway. And anyway, she's a good friend of yours. On top of that, she knows me a bit from work. I think for someone giving a speech, it adds a bit more to it when they know both the bride and groom. Besides, rather than us sitting together and trying to think of who would be the best maid of honor and best man from all our friends, which would take a lot of time, it would be easier to choose the person who already knows you very well and is pretty familiar with me too. It would give her more to work with when deciding what she wants to say too. It'll make her job much easier and save you and I the trouble of deciding.
You do make a good point, and maybe it would be something some of the guests would enjoy.
Well, all right then. It sounds like we've decided. I'll ask her if she would like to give a speech at the wedding.
You don't have to do that. I can ask her about it the next time I talk to her.
I'll see her at work this week since we still have the joint project we've been working on. I can ask her the next time I see her. I think it's probably more impactful to ask in person anyway. It's a big deal to give a speech at a wedding reception, right?
I suppose that makes sense. I'll have to text her afterwards to talk about it a bit more. I should be there in about 30 minutes or so. Keep trying to get everything packed, please. And if you haven't already, you should start putting together the cardboard boxes we got.
Can you believe that your wedding is already here? It's tomorrow. How are you feeling? I bet you're super nervous.
Well, of course I'm feeling nervous. Who wouldn't be nervous for their own wedding? After tomorrow, my whole life will suddenly change. I can't believe it's already here.
Don't think about it so much. You should be excited. Have you decided where you will go for your honeymoon?
Sean and I had only talked about it a little bit. We haven't made a definitive decision on whether or not we'll go on one. We're still floating the idea around, but maybe we'll eventually after the wedding. We've been so focused on planning for it that we haven't thought about much else. Honestly, I don't even really know where I would want to go. Like I said, we hadn't put much thought into it, and I'm not sure where both of us would enjoy going. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but I feel like there's a lot of things we should consider before making a decision. If we do eventually go, it's something that will be a little further down the line, I suppose.
If it were me, I'd want to go to Hawaii. My husband and I could go to a beautiful little church by the beach. And then just the two of us could have our own little private wedding ceremony. Oh, it would be so romantic. We would take so many photos all around Hawaii. It would be great. Then I would go post them all over social media. I want everyone to see how wonderful we look.
That sounds like it would be really nice. It seems like you've put a lot of thought into what you want your wedding to be like. And you've definitely always been the kind of person to share everything on social media.
Of course. I want everyone to know how much I love my significant other and how much they love me. What's the point if I can't display it for everyone around me to see?
It was always easy to tell when you started dating someone just by looking at your social media posts.
Oh, you know me so well. Anyway, you and Sean have already moved in together by now, right? When did that happen?
I think by now it was maybe 3 or so months ago. Both of us have only ever lived on our own, never with any roommates or anything. So we figured it would be a good idea to start seeing what each other's home routines and quirks are. We've both been making some small adjustments here and there, but I think things are going pretty well.
Oh, I see. No wonder he was so vague when we were talking the other day.
Vague? What do you mean? What did you talk about?
I asked him how things were now that you two were living together. And all he said was, well, it's been okay, I guess. Oh, I tried to get him to tell me more. It seems like maybe he's holding back when he thinks about the change in his living situation. Something about you being overly critical of so many small things. Don't you think you might be a bit over the top about the way he likes to do things?
Oh, I never thought that I was being overbearing or anything like that.
Well, of course you wouldn't be aware of it. It looks like he hasn't ever brought it up to you. But you should be careful. He said that you were getting kind of annoying. He might end up hating living with you if it gets worse. Anyway, I hope you get lots of sleep for tomorrow. It's your big day. You should be well rested. Good night.
Thanks for the heads up. I'll be waiting for you at the venue tomorrow. Sleep well.
Isn't this just the perfect weather for a wedding?
Oh, yes, you could say that again. It really is pouring outside.
It seems like it isn't going to stop anytime soon. It might last all day according to the forecast.
Yes, I saw the weather forecast. Thank you for reiterating it for me.
It is almost as if God is trying to intervene with your wedding.
Why would you say something like that? Is that supposed to be a joke?
Oh, don't be so upset. It's just a little bit of rain after all. It'll only make the wedding a gloomy and miserable time, don't you think? It doesn't really matter anyway. I won't be able to make it to the ceremony today. Sean and I decided that we have other plans that are more important. Sorry.
That's fine with me.
Did you not just read what I sent you? What do you mean that's fine?
Oh, I'm sorry. What I meant to say was, yes, that's totally fine with me. If anything, I should be thanking you.
Thanking me? Why should you be thanking me? You should be angry. You should be upset. Shouldn't you be feeling miserable right about now?
You're totally right. It seems like everything isn't going how it had been planned. Sean apparently isn't going to be able to come to the wedding. You aren't going to be able to come and make your speech. As of today, there's a sudden and seemingly unending deluge. And the cherry on top, he's been cheating on me with you. It's like the bad news is never ending, just like this horrible rain. I just think about anyone would be feeling pretty miserable if they were in my shoes.
That's exactly what I'm saying. You should be feeling miserable. So sorry to break it to you on your big day, but Sean and I love each other. We're going to run away together and be so happy. We'll have our wedding, just the two of us. We're going to Hawaii, my perfect dream wedding.
Hey, it's just like you've always wanted. That'll be such a nice little getaway. Oh, by the way, that'll be pretty expensive. Where are you going to get the money from? Seeing as how Sean doesn't have any money, it might be difficult to get all the way to Hawaii. Maybe you could swim there. That doesn't cost anything.
What do you mean? Of course he has money. We work together. How could he possibly have no money? And why are you being so calm about all of this? Why aren't you upset? We're talking about me eloping with your fiance.
Do you think I'm being too calm and collected over the whole situation? Should I be more upset? Maybe I'm just pretending to be calm. What do you think?
What? Are you serious? I knew it. Of course you were just pretending. I bet you've been barely holding yourself together. I don't blame you, though. Now that your wedding is ruined and your fiancé is leaving you for me, you must be a mess.
Nah, you've got it all wrong. I'm not upset at all. I'm in a great mood. I'm trying to act calm because you seem so excited.
There you go again with this nonsense. What are you talking about? What is there to be happy about? You're acting so strange. There's nothing to celebrate now. Your wedding isn't happening. What reason do you think you have to be anything but miserable? You're unbelievable.
You and Sean have been seeing one another since I had gotten engaged, right? Ever since then, you've been dating. Am I wrong?
And what about it? Does that make you feel better about the situation? He's with me for good now, so nothing else matters. Sorry that you lost out.
I was initially shocked, I won't lie. Finding out that your fiancé is cheating on you with someone you have known most of your life, I honestly wasn't expecting it. But then I noticed the silver lining. It gave me a convenient out for ending the engagement, and that's what I'm so happy about.
Why would that make you happy? I took him from you. You should be sulking.
Because ever since him and I moved in together, I've wanted to break up with him. Sean wasn't able to do it himself, even though he'd clearly been seeing someone else and wanted out of it even more than I did.
What do you mean?
I could tell something was up. Even when we were getting everything moved in, I could tell he just wasn't acting himself. It's hard to say exactly what was off, but I could tell he wasn't himself. He certainly wasn't the Sean that I knew. I guess to put it simply, he was much more self-centered and lazy.
Lazy? Self-centered? What do you mean? What did he do?
Well, for starters, he never even packed his own things. He waited until the night before to tell me he'd gotten nothing done. I basically did everything for him. I think he barely packed one box. Then, almost immediately after that, he started complaining about being tired and went to bed. And that's not even the best part. The next day, when we were opening up all the boxes and unpacking everything together, he complained the entire time. Every single box he opened, I had to hear about how I put the wrong clothes together in the same box for moving, saying I didn't pack his things properly, over and over. I don't think he ever said thank you to me for doing it all for him either.
Well, that's not his fault. You should have been more understanding of how he wanted his things arranged.
Oh, but that's just how things started out, you see. In the beginning, we had agreed on how we would be sharing the housework, and had no issues deciding. I figured maybe I was just overthinking the thing with his clothes being packed wrong. But that fell through immediately. I ended up doing absolutely everything. All of a sudden, none of it was his job to do.
Well, what's so wrong with that? Maybe it shouldn't be his job. If it were me, I would do everything for him perfectly. I'll be the best housewife and make sure he is taken care of.
I don't think that would work out. He isn't okay with having a housewife. It's out of the question for him.
What do you mean it's out of the question?
I mean, he wants both of us to be working and bringing in money. That was something we had talked about too that didn't exactly work out. He had been saying if we could save $1,500 a month in our joint account, that we would be able to live more comfortably. He was barely pulling in $1,300 after taxes, and before we could cover any of our bills.
Only $1,300? There's no way his company is paying him that little. We are working in the same industry. I can't believe his salary could possibly be that low.
He's paying off student loan debt. It takes a bit out of his monthly income. It comes out of his account every month. Well, not to mention all of the credit card debt he racked up as a student, too. So with all of that coming out of what he is making every month, at the end of the day, he only ends up with about $1,300. Oh, wait, hang on a second. I forgot to mention the debt that he's gotten himself just recently into. After that, then. Oh, he only has about $600. The student loans were understandable, but he had never told me how irresponsible he was with a credit card. In college and to this day.
I had no idea. He never mentioned anything like that at work. He never came across as someone so irresponsible.
Trust me, I didn't either. I never heard about it until we started living together. I was totally caught off guard. He sure talked up wanting to save all that money as a team effort. Well, the account did not increase in savings. Not thanks to him, anyway. I think he was hoping I wouldn't notice he wasn't contributing. I can't remember if he even put money in the account once. Then bills became an issue for him, as you'd expect. I ended up having to cover everything. Literally everything. Rent, utilities. Did I mention he hasn't helped with anything around the house? 'Cause he hasn't. It took me a while to find out the truth. Every time I'd ask him about it, he would give me vague answers to hide the truth.
I can't believe it. He never said anything like that. When he and I had gone out, he always paid. And the few times we'd traveled, he paid too. Was he really just putting it all on credit cards he couldn't pay back? He even agreed to our getaway to Hawaii when I brought it up. Oh, I can't believe it.
It's the honest truth. At the end of the month, he has around $600. So maybe he was using what little money he had left to take you out? 'Cause he sure didn't help contribute to anything we needed to pay collectively. He used what he had left for whatever he wanted, without consequence. When you have an ATM for a fiance, and you are so irresponsible that you end up with no money, I'm sure that's why he couldn't bring himself to breaking it off with me. I really tried my best to make it work, but I can only do so much. I'm sure you've already passed his standards for the ATM test, though. I wonder if it'll be any different for you.
I don't know what to think. Maybe he doesn't even really love me. Maybe he just wants money.
Well, like I was saying, he's living month to month on his salary. He has no savings. He has nothing to his name. I don't think I ever saw a piggy bank when I packed his things either. So yeah, sounds about right to me. He probably just wants your money. He just wants a quiet woman who will be his 24/7 ATM for a wife. I'm not sure if that's the kind of housewife situation you were looking for.
Why didn't you say anything about this for so long? Why did you put up with it? How could you endure that for so long and just continue on with your wedding plans? That's awful.
I don't really know. I think part of it was because I was tired of his parents.
His parents? What did they do?
He's an only child. His parents are living without any savings and nothing for retirement. They have no support at all. They're still working as much as they can to support themselves. They figured if their son got married to a working woman, that maybe they would have some extra financial support. I could never get away from their begging and pleading.
He's going around racking up more and more debt while his parents are struggling to get by?
I'm sure they were maybe even hoping he would let them move in with us eventually, to be able to provide them with as much support as possible.
Living with them? I don't want to live with my husband's parents as a newlywed.
No? Isn't it the dream? Working every day, 9 to 5, and coming home to take care of your lazy husband entirely on your own? I felt bad for them, though. You can't blame the son for the sins of the father. And I suppose that saying works both ways. They wanted me to give it an honest chance until the wedding. But they did mention, on the off chance that Sean decided to go out and cheat, that they would be happy to compensate for any of the trouble from canceling the ceremony.
What kind of promise is that?
Well, I'd been talking with his parents about the situation, about what it was like living with him. Everything. They pleaded for me to just believe in their son. I really do feel bad for them. I did my best. I endured. I gave him as many chances as I could. I waited until the wedding. It looks like things are looking up for me now. He might be asking you to help out with some of the costs. By the way, I'll be looking at a case for alienation of affection against you as well.
You can't be serious. We're friends. We've known each other forever. You can't let him do that.
Well, there really isn't anything I could do to help you. People don't just go around getting involved with their friends' fiancés.
You were miserable, though. I pretty much saved you from the situation. You wanted out of it from the time you moved in. How can you blame me for having helped you? It ended a marriage that you didn't want to get into. So what if I was seeing him behind your back?
That isn't something friends do. I don't know why you don't understand that. Besides, you didn't go seeing him with that in mind anyway. And if you really are as good of a friend as you say you are, you'll come meet up with me today. We have important things to talk about. Here's the address for my lawyer's practice. It's not too far of a drive for you.
Why are you sending me that? I don't need a lawyer.
Oh, I'm not giving you a recommendation. I'll be waiting there to meet with you.
Hang on just a second, Alice. This is insane. I helped you. You can't be serious. This isn't what I signed up for. I don't want any part of this anymore. You can have him back. I'm done. Alice, please don't ignore me.
Alice, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done what I did. You have to forgive me. I can't do this alone. My parents are getting old. I won't be able to manage without you. I'm sorry. Let's just forget about it all. We can pick back up with how we had planned everything, and we can just forget about the rest. We could still have our wedding like we planned. We can make things work, and then we can keep supporting my parents.
I'm going to have to refuse. Sorry about that. I will not be the only thing holding my family together financially. And your parents on top of that?
Don't say that. That isn't true. We can make things work, I promise. We can't break off this engagement. It's a horrible idea. I never wanted this to happen. Nothing good can come of it. And all of our guests are still coming, right? We can't just cancel all of a sudden.
It's too late for that. No one is coming. I can promise you that.
They aren't coming. Why aren't they coming? You couldn't have already told everyone not to go, did you?
I knew this kind of thing would happen. When we moved in, I knew something was wrong. Something was different. I already explained the whole situation to the guests. Look, even just getting to the venue is a pain for the guests. And the weather is awful today, which will only make it worse for all the guests. I already let everyone know beforehand that they don't need to show up. No one is coming, Sean.
Why would you do something so selfish? It wasn't just your wedding, it was ours. Why would you tell them not to come? I didn't have any say in this.
Well, we don't want to inconvenience all of our guests, right? That would just be awful. That's why I made sure to let the guests know what was going on beforehand. It wouldn't be right to not give them any heads up about what could go wrong. I made sure that the catering company knew not to waste any time or money either. That would have been a mess.
But what about the possibility that I would have been ready and at the wedding ceremony? Surely you hadn't totally written that off, had you?
Are you trying to convince me or yourself? Let's be upfront and honest about everything, shall we? We both know you weren't going to show up in any case. I let the wedding planner know that it was doomed to fall through as well. I told them everything I could when I had the opportunity. You really weren't there for any of the wedding planning, so it wasn't very difficult to prepare them for what would happen without letting you in on it.
I can't believe you never had any faith in me. That really hurts, Alice. It's not that there was absolutely no chance that this wasn't going to work out. That's just not true.
Again, do you really think that? Do you even remember how many meetings you came to for planning our wedding? How about you make a guess? Do you remember how much you planned for the wedding? Anything at all?
I mean, I guess I don't really remember much, but I'm sure I helped with some planning. You couldn't have done it all alone.
You only came with me for one appointment, for your tuxedo. That was it. You really haven't helped me with anything. In fact, I think the only other thing you've done to help me with planning and getting the wedding set up was inviting the woman you cheated with in person. I've done everything, Sean. I made the entire guest list for our wedding. I got in touch with everyone to figure out their allergies, to make sure there weren't any issues with the food we were catering. I've done absolutely everything for this, even though I had no interest, even though I knew you would make all the plans fall through.
And I'm sorry, Alice. I really am. I was wrong. I said I was wrong. I've had a change of heart. Honestly, you have to believe me.
That is some poor timing for a change of heart. It's too late, and you aren't even being truthful anyway. I know you aren't really sorry. The only thing you were sorry about is that things aren't working out in your favor. and I'm going to make sure you pay for everything that needed to be canceled. You thought I wouldn't find out that you used all of the money I had saved for myself, too, didn't you? I'm going to get it all back, every single penny, of my money, and what went to the wedding.
How did you find out about that? Oh, did Rebecca tell you?
I'm glad we decided to put off having our honeymoon till much later. Maybe if you had even cared about me a little bit, maybe it would have worked out. The whole time I feel like I've been trying to stop a sinking ship on my own. But it turns out I should have let it die on its own. I think my only salvation is that we never had a marriage certificate issued.
I'm begging you, please. I have no money. I can't repay anything. I have nothing. I'm still in so much debt. I won't ever be able to fix this. I still have student loans to repay, too. I can't, Alice. I can't do this. I need you. I need someone to help me. I need someone to support my parents and I. I won't make it on my own.
What about your new girlfriend? I'm sure Rebecca will be happy to be your new ATM.
She abandoned me, too. I need you, Alice. Don't leave me, too.
Oh, she doesn't want to be with you anymore? That's too bad. I don't know why you think I would want you back after everything.
Please, we can fix this. I'm begging you not to leave me.
I think for now you should just be focusing on paying me back what you owe me. You can also cover our rent and living expenses for the time being as well, and we won't be living together. How does that sound for new arrangements? Maybe then I can consider giving you a bit more time to pay me back everything that you owe me. Go ahead, you can give it a little thought. I'm waiting.
Alice, you know I can't do that. I have nothing. I can't afford all of our rent and bills on my own.
It's really too bad. I guess that kind of thing can happen when you aren't willing to be a bit more conscientious about how you use and save your money. Well, I guess we don't really have many options then. I guess we should talk with my lawyer. I'll be waiting here to discuss everything with you. This is my lawyer's practice. Don't keep me waiting too long now.
Wait a minute, please. I told you I can't afford this. I have no money. My parents have no money. How do you expect me to be able to pay everything back? I would need to get rid of all of my debt and loans to even begin paying you back. I don't know what you want me to do. I'm begging you. You have to help me out here.
Thanks to my lawyer, I was able to make sure there were very few problems following having our wedding ceremony canceled. Sean promised to pay back everything within a year. I was also able to get compensation from Rebecca in a single payment from the case made for alienation of affection. It seems that Rebecca had borrowed money from somewhere in order to pay back the entire amount, though leaving her in debt to a new source. A fool repeats his folly, as the proverb goes. As it turns out, there had been a rumor that Rebecca got involved with someone else at work just before their marriage. Needless to say, both Rebecca and Sean have at least learned a bit of humility after everything that's happened, even though Rebecca still hasn't learned her lesson. There have been a lot of issues for the both of them at their respective workplaces while working to repay their debts. Somehow the both of them have managed to hold on to their individual jobs, but are no longer able to live as carelessly as they once did in regards to their finances. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video and want to see more like it, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe.